what is generally considered the residential status of a married couple where husband is Irish, wife is American? This is very specific, but we read it anyway. I'm just saying it's specific because we may not be able to answer it in this specific context, but we can speak generally about it, right? So,
Yeah.
married couple, husband Irish, wife American, kids born in the US, couple lived in the US for 20 years. Now everyone is in Ireland for 5 years with kids enrolled in school in Ireland right now. They filed jointly, I guess, in the US. Can each spouse have different domicile, despite having the same ordinary residence? And well, okay, there's some other
Yes, is the answer to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And what can American wife do if she has American inheritance at this point? Any tax implications for inheritance?
Yes. So let me just read this. Let me just read this again. So,
Okay.
the wife is American and she's lived in Ireland for 5 years. So she is 5 years resident. So I think then she could be caught for the American inheritance. Now we'd need to get the breakdown of what's in that inheritance. Sure. But of course, as well, she would be entitled to the thresholds and so forth that we have, the exemption thresholds. So depending on who, on her relationship with the disponer, like if she's a daughter, she'll have 330 odd K that she won't have to pay tax on, assuming she got no other gifts or inheritances from that person before. So we'd need to have a look and see, but if she's resident for 5 consecutive years, so if it's the 5th year, she's actually okay, but if it's the 6th year, she would potentially then have exposure to Ireland in that, and we have to look and see what is it she's actually going to be inheriting, who is she inheriting from, and kind of do the calculations and work it out.
That's because in year 6 you trigger some sort of deemed domicile.
Essentially, yes. It's not classed as deemed domicile. It's just a different rule where if you're resident for 5 years, or for more than 5 years, I think it is, you're caught. You're caught with that. So the remittance basis doesn't apply in that scenario. The remittance basis isn't applicable to capital acquisitions tax, which is the tax head that's of relevance to this.
Okay, gotcha. And just to throw in from a US perspective, the estate is taxable, not the person who's the beneficiary or who is inheriting from the estate. There's no tax on the person receiving it, so it's on the estate. Just throw that in. Following on, so again, Declan and Brian. So following on to the American wife, Irish husband, the dual citizens living in Ireland 5 years, claiming the foreign tax credit. Can any of us spend more than 30 days in a year without triggering IRS? So without triggering any US tax complications. So this is from the US perspective. So I guess they're referring to section 911 of the US tax code, foreign earned income exclusion. So you can qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion in one of two ways. One, there's a bona fide residence test, and the other is a physical presence test. The physical presence test, that's easier to understand because it's objective and it's quantitative, and that's a 30 days test. So do not stay in the US for more than 30 days. Otherwise, you would lose the foreign earned income exclusion if you were qualifying under physical presence. The other test, the bona fide residence test, that is subjective and it's qualitative. So it's more or less like a test of intent. Where's your heart? Where's your home? So if it is that you did qualify under that, and yes, you're staying more than 30 days, but you maintain that Ireland is still your home, you still have your property there that's available for you to use, you're still paying taxes, maybe you still have a job there, then you would still be able to benefit from the foreign earned income exclusion from the US perspective, even though you cross the number of days. So it's really a test of facts and circumstances, and I suggest that you speak with your preferred US tax professional to, just make sure that in terms of forward planning, that you don't run afoul of the rules and lose that important benefit. So
if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.